here's the step-by-step. So first you want to establish where you want your prayer pocket. So these little loops right here, this is where we're going to pull our loops up from in the blanket. So grab your working yarn and we're going to push the yarn through the blanket and up underneath one of the loops to make a loop. We're going to make these super small because we don't want things poking out of the pocket, right? So I'm going to go over 5 loops, and you can make your prayer pocket as big as you want it, but the one on the cover is 5 loops wide. So pull up loops all the way across. Then for your next loop up in this pocket, we're going to do something a little bit tricky. So come along with me, bring your working yarn through this loop, like back through it and up above this one right here. Then we're gonna kind of finish off, so that's kind of what it's called. You're gonna bring that new loop through your old loop and pull it up a little bit. And that's gonna secure it to your blanket. Then for the second row, we're going to just bring some loops through just these loops that we pulled up right here and go all the way back across to this loop. And don't loop through the last loop yet. What we're going to do is that other little trick, and we're going to bring it through the hole that's right above that loop and pull up another loop, just like this. And then what you're going to do is bring your working yarn across so it's kind of out of the way and to the left so we can go back that way, and bring your new loop through your old loop, and that will secure it to the blanket right there. For your third row, you come back across, we're going to the left, and we'll do this almost all the way up. So we're gonna do that little trick again, right up above, and be sure that you're not pulling your loops out from the loops that you just made, so you'll want your working yarn to be able to move. Bring that new loop through the old loop down here and up, and then come back across for the next row. So I'm keeping my loops pretty small. Like I said, I don't want things to fall out of the prayer pocket. This end loop, we're going to pull another loop up from the blanket like we did before, right above it, and just push that working yarn right up and through. And this is just on the edges that we do this. Put your working yarn over here where you're going to be able to bring it and do that next row. New loop through the old loop, and that secures it. And then keep going on your row to the left. And you can also make it as tall as you want it. So I made it just small so it could hold little scripture cards or prayer cards. Here we're going to secure it to the blanket again. So push it through, bring your working yarn up. Sometimes I'm like, oh, which side do I pull on, right? I'm bringing my working yarn across so that I can go back across that loop through the old loop and knit back across for your next row. I'm going to go fast because it's the same thing that we've done. But then right here, you're going to secure it to your blanket. So pull up a loop from your blanket. Make sure your working yarn is across right here so we can go back across. That new loop through the old loop down and pull up. And here's where we're going to finish it off on the top so it has a nice edge. These next stitches, you're going to want to make 2 fingers wide and bring it through that old loop behind it. Bring through one that's 2 fingers wide, bring it through the old loop that's behind it. Same thing, and we're going to kind of pull across. So 2 fingers wide, and bring the new loop through the old loop, pull across. And same thing on this one right here. 2 fingers, new loop through the old loop, and pull across. So you end up with 1 loop at the end here. So we're going to secure it to the blanket even more, and what you'll want to do is cut your tail end. Then you'll want to make sure that your loop right here isn't huge, maybe 1 finger, and we're going to take our tail end and put it right underneath this loop in the blanket, and then pull it back through that loop that we made that's on the prayer pocket. And pull it somewhat tight, and then we're going to finish it all off. So take your tail end and push it through to the back of the blanket. And just pull it through to the back, not too tight. And then what you'll do is take this tail end that you started with and push it through to the back as well, and just pull it pretty tight, because then you won't be able to see it in the back. And then what you'll want to do is you can just tie these off. You can either tie them off and double knot them underneath one of these loops, just like this. We're gonna do it with this one. And then you can cut that tail end pretty close to that knot, especially if you've double knotted it. Or you can tie a knot and then also fuse it with fire if you would like. And I'm doing a stitch that is like right behind that prayer pocket so that you won't see it on the actual blanket. It'll be like in the pocket. So I cut that pretty close to the knot right there. Then with this other one, I'll show you how to fuse it. So I chose one of the stitches that's behind the prayer pocket again. And then I'm gonna double knot it as well, but then also fuse it. So right here, I'm going to cut it pretty short, but then fuse that piece right back onto the blanket. So I could have cut it really close like that, but then you can fuse this as well. Since I don't have two tail ends, what I'm gonna do is put it right onto that color right here and hold it pretty tight. And then I do a tug test just to make sure it won't come unraveled once I get it really on there, and it's on there, it's not gonna come off. So there is your prayer pocket. Here's how big it is inside, and like I said, you could make it as big or as small as you want it. This is 5 rows across. It's for keepsakes, for notes, for scriptures, for prayers, all kinds of things.